One file, 47 lines. Claude Code suddenly knows your entire code base, your coding standards, and your team's conventions. No more wrong folder structures. No more ignored lint rules. Just one file called CLAUDE.md. By the end of this video, you'll know exactly what goes in a CLAUDE.md file, the 3 scopes that control who sees what, and the modular rule system that loads instructions only when Claude needs them. But wait, I'll also show you the auto memory feature that lets Claude take its own notes. Here's the problem. You install Claude Code, start a session, and immediately, it puts components in the wrong folder. It uses class components when your team uses hooks. It ignores your testing framework. It has zero knowledge of how your project actually works. Every single prompt, you're repeating the same corrections. The fix is a single file. CLAUDE.md lives in your project root, and Claude reads it at the start of every single session. Think of it like a README for your AI assistant. Your tech stack, your conventions, your patterns, all loaded automatically. Watch this. The fastest way to create one is /init. Claude scans your entire project, package.json, sconfig, slint, folder structure, and generates a starter CLAUDE.md automatically. See how it detected the tech stack, testing framework, and project structure? 87 lines, done in seconds. But here's what makes it amazing. You can set an environment variable, Claude_code_new_init equals true, and /init becomes interactive. It asks what to set up, CLAUDE.md files, skills, hooks, then explores your code base with a subagent, asks follow-up questions, and lets you review everything before writing a single file. So what goes in it? Specific instructions Claude can't guess from your code. Use 2-space indentation. Run npm test before committing. API handlers live in src/API/handlers. The more concrete the instruction, the more consistently Claude follows it. Vague rules like format code properly get ignored. Now here's the real power. 3 scopes. First, project scope. That's the CLAUDE.md in your project root, or .claude/CLAUDE.md committed to Git, shared with your whole team through version control. Everyone gets the same instructions. Second, user scope. ~claude/CLAUDE.md. Your personal preferences that apply to every project on your machine. Code style, workflow shortcuts, things only you care about. This file never gets committed to Git. Third, manage policy. Your organization deploys a CLAUDE.md through IT tools like Group Policy or Ansible. Company coding standards, security policies, compliance requirements, applied to every developer automatically. And here's the kicker. Managed policies cannot be excluded by individual settings. Trust me, this next feature is a game changer. The .claude/rules directory. Instead of stuffing everything into one file, you create modular rule files. Testing.md, API-design.md, security.md. Each file covers one topic. But watch this. You can scope rules to specific file paths using YAML formatter. See that paths field? */*.ts means this rule only loads when Claude is working with TypeScript files. You can use glob patterns, */*.tsx for React components, src/API for backend code. Rules without a paths field load every session. Path-scoped rules load on demand. Modular, efficient, zero wasted context. Now for imports. Your CLAUDE.md can pull in additional files using @path syntax. At docs/testing.md. At docs/deployment.md, Claude expands these at launch. Relative paths resolve from the file containing the import. And imported files can import other files, up to 5 hops deep. Coming up, I'll show you the feature that surprised me the most. Size guidance, and this is important. Keep each CLAUDE.md under 200 lines. Longer files consume more context tokens and reduce how well Claude follows instructions. If your instructions are growing large, split them into .claude/rules files or use @path imports. Lean and specific beats long and vague every single time. Here's the feature that surprised me, auto memory. This is separate from CLAUDE.md. Claude writes its own notes as it works. Build commands, debugging insights, your preferences. It saves them to ~claude/projects/your project/memory. The first 200 lines of memory.md load every session. Totally machine local, never shared with teammates. And for monorepos, CLAUDE.md excludes. You add glob patterns to your settings.local.json, and Claude skips irrelevant CLAUDE.md files from other teams. */monorepo/other team/CLAUDE.md gone. No more noisy instructions from projects you never touch. Quick recap. CLAUDE.md is your project's brain. /init generates a starter. 3 scopes: project, user, and manage policy. .claude/rules for modular, path-scoped instructions. @path imports for extras. Under 200 lines per file. Auto memory for Claude's own notes. Set it up once, and every session starts smarter. Next episode, skills and MCP servers. How to give Claude Code superpowers by connecting it to databases, APIs, and custom tools. You won't believe how 3 lines of config turn Claude into a full-stack assistant. Subscribe so you don't miss it.